Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Thomas with Pensacola State College Library and Kids College. Today we're going to be reading Red, a Crayon story, and then we're going to make a cool summer treat. Before we get started, now's a good time for a parent or guardian to grab a couple supplies. You'll need a gallon Ziploc bag, a quart Ziploc bag, some salt. Rock salt's going to work better for you if you can grab a hold of that. You're going to need some kind of juice and then some ice. And now let's read our book. Red, a Crayon Story by Michael Hall. He was red, but he wasn't very good at it. His teacher thought he needed more practice. I'll draw a red strawberry. Then you draw a red strawberry. You can do this. Really? But he couldn't really. Like this? Oh my, let's try again. His mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. Why don't you two go and draw a nice round orange? A really big one. A really orange one. But they made a big greenish one. Yuck. Oops. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. Your class is making self-portraits for Parents' Night. Wear this warm red scarf. Nice, it's so you. But it so wasn't. Everyone seemed to have something to say. Sometimes I wonder if he's red at all. Don't be silly, it says red on his label. He came that way from the factory. Frankly, I don't think he's very bright. Well, I think he's lazy. Right, he's got to press harder. Really apply himself. Give him time, he'll catch on. Of course he will. But he didn't catch on. A green frog, a black sheep, a brown cow, a red... All the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside. This'll help hold you together. The scissors thought his label was too tight. One snip should do it. I thought he wasn't sharp enough. Stay still now. But even with all our help and all his hard work, he just couldn't get the hang of it. But one day, he met a new friend. Will you make a blue ocean for my boat? I can't, I'm red. Will you try? So he did. Thank you, it's perfect. You're welcome, it was easy. But he didn't stop there. Bluebells, blue jeans, bluebird, blueberries, blue whale. I'm blue! He was blue, and everyone was talking. My son is brilliant. Who could have known he was blue? I always said he was blue. It was so obvious. His blue ocean really lifted me. All of his work makes me happy. His blue strawberries are my favorite. He's so intense. I'm gonna make a green lizard with him, a really big one. I hear he's working on a new project. He's really reaching for the sky. And he really was. Hello everyone, hope you enjoyed today's story. Now let's make our craft. In today's craft, you're gonna be able to eat it. So we're gonna make these, are called shortcut slushies. Maybe you've been to like a fast food place, or maybe you've been to like an ice cream shop, or you've got like something like a snow cone, you've gotten like a slushie. Well, we're gonna make that at home. It's super duper easy. Again, all you're gonna need some ice, you're gonna need some type of salt. I'm using ice cream salt, or you could use some type of rock salt. Something coarser is gonna work a little better. And then you need some kind of juice. You can also do this with some type of sodas. You can even do it with like Gatorade, Powerade, fruit juice, anything that's just going to be like a juice and have a little bit of sugar in it. And then you're gonna need two size kind of zip top bags. We've got a gallon size and we've got a quart size. The first thing that you should do is you're gonna measure about a cup of juice into your smaller quart size bag. Now this is all that's gonna make, and if you add too much, it's just gonna take a little bit longer. I'm eyeing this because I forgot to bring my measuring cup today. That's probably a little less than a cup, but why don't we just kind of seal that up? You wanna try to get as much air out of the bag as possible. We'll get some zoom in shots to try to show off some of these things later, or maybe not if I forget. So we've kind of got that in here, and yeah, it's about a cup, I would say. I'm a cook, I can do this. So we've kind of got that sealed off, and it's gonna look weird to just kind of get started, but make sure that's sealed off really well and you've got a lot of that air kind of pulled out of the bag. Now, take your larger bag, and you're gonna fill this with about 4 cups of ice. Make sure that you wash your hands before you do all this. I did it off camera. It's gonna be a little loud, so I might mute it here. But you wanna get a bunch of ice into your bag. Just fill that up with some ice, and just really you just want to be able to cover this, you want to be able to cover the juice within the bag. And the reason that it's in a separate bag is so that it doesn't get mixed in with all this ice. I'm gonna add 1 more scoop of ice. It's probably super loud for you guys, I'm so sorry. But now's here where the salt comes in. You could stick this into the bag and then you're gonna shake it. And by shaking it, it's gonna super cool this juice, and it's gonna make it so that it starts to kind of crystallize, and it's gonna become that kind of slushy kind of feel that you like to taste, that you like to eat, that good texture that you like to have from it. But the salt is gonna make it run a lot faster. It helps kind of melt this off a lot faster, and it's gonna make it feel a lot cooler. So it's gonna be able to kind of speed up the process. So you're gonna add about 1/2 cup of salt to it. I may over salt it, and I do that a lot, even with my food, but you're just gonna add some salt to this. That's maybe 1/2 cup, but it's okay to eye, it's okay to experiment, try a couple things. I'll just add these last couple little bits in here, and we're just gonna go ahead and seal that off, get a lot of the air out of it. And we're already gonna kind of shake it up to kind of mix it. Okay, now that we've got enough salt and enough ice in here, it's time to add our juice. And again, you wanna make sure that's in that smaller baggie, and you wanna kind of cover it in ice. So you wanna try to get that down to the bottom. And it'll make it easier if you're able to get as much air out of the bag as possible. All right, now that the juice is pretty well covered with the ice, it's now time to seal off the top, seal off the big ice bag, and try to get as much air out as possible. And go ahead and seal up the top. Now that that's sealed up, you may want to have a parent kind of help you with this, but if you feel comfortable shaking it, you're just gonna shake it a whole bunch. So kind of roll the top to make it a little easier to grip, and now start shaking. We'll speed this up a lot. All right, welcome back. I put away the ice so that it didn't all melt because I want everyone else here working to be able to get some ice if they needed it. But I think we've shaken it for about 10 minutes at this point, and we have a super good consistency. So the bag is gonna be pretty messed up at this point. It's gonna be kind of beaten up. There might be little salt droplets on, little pieces of salt kind of sticking to it, and it's gonna be super duper cold. You may wanna wear gloves whenever you do this because that's gonna help a lot. Keep your hands warm whenever you're doing it. But now that you've got your bag, you can maybe even, depending on how much juice that you put in, you might be able to snip off the end and be able to kind of squeeze a lot of it out, maybe into a bowl or into a cup. I'm just gonna eat it right out of the bag. We got our result, and it's going to be that big kind of a slushy consistency. Depending on how much that you really shake it, it's gonna be more crystallized or not. So let's take a taste, and perfect consistency. I'm digging this, I love this. What flavors did you use? I might make another one just to try out a different flavor, but we're gonna try that out. Perfect consistency, perfect cool treat that you can eat while you're outside playing this summer. Thanks so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you next week for even more.